Let's see. 1, 2, 3. A lot. Waaaagh! Welcome back to the Red Ones Go Festa. Old Big Mick here, and in this episode we are finally talking about the Green Tide. That's right, crack open a Red Squig, boys, because it is time to talk about the boys. So we've been doing this kind of deep dive into all the different detachments from the new Orc Codex. And we've already covered the Bully Boys and the Speed Freaks ones, and now we are getting on to the Green Tide. Now, the Green Tide is your classic Orc Boy Horde swarm, but cranked up past 11, past 12, break the knob off and throw it away, because this detachment is insane. Let's get into this. It really is something. All right, before we get too far into this, if you do want your own Red Squig merch, the link is down in the description below. We have it in multiple colors, including the classic blue shirt, gray, green, all sorts of cool stuff. And we do it in adult sizes, women's sizes, kids sizes, and hoodies. So definitely check that out. It's Teespring. They can ship all over the world. So yeah. All right, so let's get into it. The biggest deal, obviously, is the detachment rule, right? That's what brings the flavor to these different detachments and why you would want to play them, and how you would play the army differently versus other versions. And the detachment rule for this is really pretty simple. So it's called mob mentality, and it's each time a target attacks a boys unit. Keep in mind, this doesn't include every keyword that includes boys, so like Luda Boys doesn't work. It's got to literally be just Orc Boys. That is a change to this edition. Anyways, anytime an attack targets a boys unit from your army, models in that unit have a 5+ invulnerable save. 5 up invul every attack. In addition, each time an attack targets an Orcs unit from your army. So now this second part, this applies to everything. Everything in the army that's Orcs, this applies to. If it contains 10 or more models, re-roll a saving throw of 1 made against that attack. So if you do decide to take some non-boys units, say you're taking 20 Beast Nagas, or even just like 10 Ludas or something like that, as long as you have 10 in them when the wounds come in, you get to re-roll those ones. So you're making the boys really, really resistant to getting crumped or dacked off the board, right? Because you're always going to have that 5 up invul, and if you roll a 1, you're going to be able to re-roll it as long as you keep your boy squads big. So yeah, I mean, on the surface, it sounds pretty good, but where it really gets interesting is when you look at all the different enhancements and stratagems that come with this detachment. They are probably the best ones in the whole codex, and I'm not seeing that lightly. There are fantastic enhancements and fantastic stratagems in multiple detachments, but these are off the chain. I mean, just take a listen to this, right? Roush's Warcaller, while the bearer is leading a unit, that unit always counts as having 10 or more for the purpose of your detachment rule and any stratagems you use. So if you've got a unit that you absolutely want to keep alive, say you do want to bring a unit of knobs or mega knobs, right? You put that on your leader, and now that whole unit, no matter how much damage they've taken, no matter how low they're getting, they're always going to count as 10. They're always going to re-roll those ones, right? That's a big deal. Plus, it allows the other stratagems to apply to it. Bloodthirsty Belligerents, another really, really good one. Well, the bearer's leading the unit, you can re-roll advanced rolls made for that unit. That's just always. But if you contain 10 or more models, you can re-roll the charge as well. Right? Let's make sure we get as much advance as we can and as much charge as we can, right? So the enhancements are great. And then the stratagems. Oh, my Gork and Mork, the stratagems. So Go Get 'em is a really good one. That's where if your boy's army was selected as a target of the unit's attacks, you could roll a d6 and then move every model in that unit that much closer to the enemy, including into engagement range, thus keeping them from getting shot at again. right? Pretty cunning. Tide of Muscle. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit declares a charge, add the current battle round number to the charge roll. I really like that one. Like first round, gotta go a little bit extra. But yeah, round 4, yeah, you're getting 4 extra inches on this charge just because that's what round it is. It's such an orky rule. It's so thematic and it's like actually good. It's been a long time since we've had ones like that. For me though, what makes this detachment so good, especially in a competitive sense, is that this army, this detachment, this is going to be how you win games, specifically tournament games, competitive games. The big thing to remember is that you're going to take as many boys as you can. Your basic boy squad, you're going to put 20 of them in each squad. You're going to take 6 of them. Every single Green Tide list should start with that mandatory. You just should, period, the end. It is way too good. You got to do it. Take 20 boys, take the full 6 battle line units of them, and go for it. First of all, they're objective control 2 on all your models. Second of all, they're sticky objectives because they are battle line. And then if you have 20 of them in your unit, you get to attach the 2 leaders. So for me, for my ideal list, I'm putting a war boss and a pain boy on the first 3 of these units just to begin with, to keep them around even longer. Because think about that, right? 20 boys, 5 up invulns, re-rolling 1s, and then you put the pain boy on top of it, which we talked about in the last video. He's going to give you a 5 up feel no pain. So now you're making a save or an invulnerable save. You're making a feel no pain roll. You're re-rolling 1s on that invulnerable save. Actually, on the re-roll 1s is every save, isn't it? I think it's every save. Yeah, any saving throw, any save. So you're re-rolling 1s on all your saving throws, as long as you keep at least 10. And then you're going to be able to return D3 bodyguards with the pain boy. And then there's that strat to bring some back to life too, which is come on, lads. You can target a boys unit from your army and return D3 plus 2 destroyed models to your unit. So hello, even if the opponent finally gets some boys off the board, you're going to put 3 of them back on with the pain boy, and then you're going to put another like 3 plus 2 with this. I mean, that is just so good. You're just standing back up, keep on going, feeling no pain, no problem here. Like, oh, it's going to be so hard to get these guys off of an objective. The points you're going to be able to score, especially with all of the current missions, the missions that are in like the Leviathan mission pack and what they're using it like the Grand Tournaments and the Opens and stuff. They're all about securing objectives and having battle line and like controlling the board. If you've got 120 boys rolling around the board, you're going to control all the objectives. You're going to be all over the board, and you're also like keeping targets away from the other army, right? You're not bringing a whole bunch of big hero characters. You're not bringing a whole bunch of vehicles. You're not really giving them anything much to shoot at other than a Green Tide, a wall of absolute units. Possibly my favorite stratagem though is called Bragging Rights, and this one's great. So on the Bragging Rights, until the start of your next command phase, if you have 2 units of boys that are within 6 inches of each other, they both count as 10 or more models for the detachment, enhancement, stratagems, etc. So late game, right? You're getting down to it. You've coalesced around whatever's happening. You've got 2 squads left. They're within 6 inches of each other, and you need them to just wallop, right? Bragging rights. They're going to look at each other and be like, oh, I guess we're all in the same squad now. Ergo, we've got more than 10. Waaaagh. It's so good. I think what makes me most excited about that rule is it's such a throwback to the classic 3rd edition rules. They had this orc mob rule. So back then, leadership tests were kind of wildly different. But the orcs were so awesome. If they failed their leadership test, they would immediately check size. You would roll 2d6, and if the score was equal to or less than the number of orcs left in the mob, they just kept fighting. So it was literally like the orcs couldn't count. It was like, oh, you failed your leadership test, and you'd roll the dice, and you'd be like, 1, 2, 3. There's still plenty of us. Ah! How funny is that, and how thematic is that? And so the fact that they've brought in this idea and this stratagem way back from the bowels of 3rd edition is a whole lot of fun. Now, as far as what else to put with your boys, how else to really take advantage of this, Up to you, honestly. I've seen a lot of different things done online. I've play tested a little bit of things on some solo games. I don't think there's a wrong answer. There's definitely a case to be made for like taking a squad of 10 knobs and then, you know, like I said, putting that Rausch's War Caller on so that they always count as 10 for that one and using them up the middle. I've definitely seen like, hey, take some commandos, so you've got some backfield stuff. I've seen take some Storm Boys. Me personally, what I like, obviously 6 times 20 boys, you're taking that no matter what. I would take the rocket launchers in all of them. Not that our DAC is any good or anything, but when you've got 12 rocket launchers on the board, you're bound to hit something. And when you do have to inevitably pull a boy off because one finally got shot, you pull the rocket launcher guy off, right? And then you keep all your Choppa guys for all the inevitable close combat. So yeah, I would run 6 times 120, you know what I mean, 6 times 20, 120 boys. Again, personally, I'm taking 3 war bosses and 3 pain boys and then attaching them to the same units. I've definitely seen a case made for you just take 3 war bosses and 3 pain boys, and those are the leaders for the 6 units, and you don't do a double up at all. But I like doubling up, try to keep that war boss alive. And then for my other 3 units, I would put weird boys on just to mess with the opponent. I have also seen an edge case for the new Big Mech because you can do that advance through other squads and runes and things like that, that whole like sideways movement thing. I could see how that could be good, but it's also very situational, and he's 80 points. He's kind of a lot of points. So I don't know, or, you know, maybe take 1 Big Mech, 1 weird boy, you know, try some different things, figure it out. Definitely take a unit of Grats just so you got something to do some farming for CP. There is an enhancement where you can farm for CPs too with one of your boy squads as long as it's 10 or more and still on the board. It's only 25 points, which is cheaper than a 40-point Gretchen unit, but it also, you have to keep that squad alive and on the board and 10 or more, and you know, just gets a little bit situational. Honestly, I kind of take both. I take 1 squad of Grats and that 1 enhancement. So we've spent kind of 65 points on getting CPs, but you will want CP. You will want to have some points available to spend on these stratagems because they are literally all so good. There's not a bad one in the lot. The other thing you can do, obviously, take some battle wagons. That's what I would personally do. I would take at least 2. So you got 2 squads on the board in battle wagons rolling up, causing some mayhem. I think minimum you want at least one battle wagon. Remember, you can also take, I believe it's the Hunter Rig, but the boys can't get on it. It's kind of weird. The Beast Snagger boys can ride trucks, but the boys can't ride Hunter Rigs or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, take a battle wagon. You could definitely have some boys in reserve to come on, you know, later on, because trying to fit 120 boys on the table is going to be kind of bananas. But yeah, battle wagon or 2, 120 boys, and just get out there and just mob them, because that is a lot of orc, and that is a lot of orc to clear off of an objective, and that is how you win tournament games. All right, that's going to do it for this deep dive video. If you like what you saw, definitely check out our other videos. Like I said, we've already done 2 of the detachments. This is now 3 down. We've got 3 to go. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the deep dives on the 3 remaining, including Beast Snagger Boys and Dread Mob. Right? Again, all these detachments are really good. They all have value. They all have playability in different scenarios. So definitely, if you like what you see, click some buttons and make sure you stick around for that, or check out our older videos. Big thanks to all my patrons for helping make this channel happen, and also our YouTube members. So FYI, we do YouTube memberships as well. So if you'd rather do a YouTube membership than a Patreon, you can do it. They're the exact same price. They're both 5 bones, 5 teeth. I keep it as cheap as humanly possible because GW sucks and they keep raising prices, and the rest of the world sucks even worse and they keep raising prices. And yeah, so super simple, 5 teeth. Literally every little bit helps to make this happen. And yeah, really appreciate it. Same bonuses and whatnot on both. So either way gets you access to old Big Mech's specialized bit service, as well as our newer things coming out. The next item of which is going to be our decals. So we are manufacturing our own decals, going old school on back banners and things like that. And we're working on having a customizable decal service where you can send your artwork in, and old Big Mech will make it himself as a water slide decal so that you could put it on your orc army, which would be pretty awesome. So yeah, thank you all, and until next time, Waaaagh on!